Fans, friends, and followers, YouTube world, this is Stalking with Stalker coming at you. Thank you for tuning in. Got a treat for you today. On my channel, it is my goal to do multiple things. You got to be good at everything you do, because that's what makes you viable. The more you can do, the more valuable you are. One of the things that I'm going to do today, and there are plenty of channels on YouTube that do this stuff, but they don't do it in the same, with all the other same things that I do, like shooting the bow or fishing or soon to be some hunting videos. You're going to get some cannon videos. You're going to get RV living. When I get ready to prep for winter, I'm going to go through my RV and show you everything I do. How I prepare to survive in my RV during the winter time. But for today, what we got going on is I am going to be whipping up, oh yeah, some canned potatoes. You got to be able to preserve your food. What if the lights go out? It could happen. They could go out. And if they do, how are you going to keep that refrigerator running? Well, RVs do have propane setups, but they use them fast. It burns it right up. I actually put in a regular refrigerator in my RV just so that it ran on electricity. I could run it on a generator, but if the power goes out, everything that's in that freezer will turn into canned goods. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is going over the steps of what I have to do and showing you a little bit of each step. I'm going to pause the video in between long periods. You don't want to watch me cut up a whole bunch of potatoes. You don't want to watch me watch a timer, basically watch water boil. It's a process, and it's really simple. It's something that every single human being on this earth should be able to do, because you never know. You just never know. Be prepared for everything. With that being said, I'm going to pause the video, get some things going, and go through the list of things that we got to have to make this progress and get some canned potatoes. Now, because I live alone with 2 dogs, I am going to be doing these size jars, because it's just me. It's that size of a can. How many potatoes can you eat? If I do the big ones, well, man, that's wasting some food. So most of my stuff, because I live alone, will be in these jars. But I do have some of the larger jars where I'll make some soups. I do chili. I can can applesauce. I can make beef stew. Whatever. If it's edible and it's healthy for you, I can can it. I can't can candy or none of that, but I can make jams and that kind of thing. Applesauce, apple butter, stuff like that. With that being said, I'm going to pause the video for a little bit, get some things out, and then I'll go through the steps of what we got to do, and do a little bit of each one. So I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, I'm back real quick just to give you an update. I am going to be doing 14 pint, I think they're pints. Anyway, I'm doing 14 of these, this size. Some are large mouth, some are regular mouth. You got to have the equal right number of lids, rings, all that stuff. What you do is you get your pot of water, your pressure cooker going. You fill it up with water so that you can sanitize this water. Boil it good, get it good and hot, and use this water to fill your jars. That's why it's a little fuller than normal. Fill it up, get it hot, use that to lay the water into your jars when it's time to pack them, to get them prepared to go into the canner. You also have to peel or cut up the right amount of potatoes, and I'm using red potatoes this time, because red potatoes you don't have to peel, you only have to wash. So you wash them, you cut them into about an inch size chunks, maybe, give or take, rings, whatever, however you want them. If you want them flat, and they work really good for like making potatoes and eggs in the morning, home fry, stuff like that. Or you can cut them into cubes. You can mash them. The red potatoes can really well without having to peel them, and that's why I chose them. It's just one less step I have to do. So right now I have my jars set up. I'm boiling over here in the back. I'll be boiling that little thing. That's for my lids. That's to help sterilize them and make sure they're clean. My jars are clean. I've already done that step. So the next step will be for me to clean the potatoes and get them ready and resting in cool water. I don't use very many seasonings. in the canning process because some of them can go rancid and stuff like that. But you can use just a touch of salt, and because I'm worried about stuff like that, I use Himalayan pink salt. That's my favorite. And I will use just a little bit in each jar when I pack them with the potatoes. Now, I've never used it before. I'm not going to do it this time. I don't put salt in it. I'm just not going to. I'm going to refrain from using salt, but I will show you the next step when we're ready to start packing them, because you guys didn't really want to see me wash them. You don't need to see water boil. I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back. Real quick, I have my water boiling. I've already boiled my lids. They're already boiled and been sanitized. My potatoes are done, and this is 10 pounds. And again, I said, you got to wash these really good. But as you can see, it's just a red potato. And they're good. So now, I'm letting this boil so that I can bring it up to temperature to actually pack my jars. When packing your jars, you want to pack them almost about an inch from the lip. And then when you add the water, and I'll repeat this, you're going to fill it right up to where it just covers the potatoes. Then you're going to burp it. And I'll show you what I mean by that. We'll use a little plastic fork or whatever just to get the air bubbles out. And then we'll go through the next process and we'll put them in the canner. And when I do that, I'll explain how long they got to go and why. I'll see you shortly. Alright, so I went ahead and started to pre-pack them. It's better to be a little bit light when you pack them up, get them ready. But better to be light than heavy. Because if you're heavy, you could cause it to overflow. About an inch or so, but again, I'm basing this on what I eat in a meal. So I actually got 13 of these jars out of a 10-pound bag, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the 13. So I'm getting ready to actually ladle the water in. I'll explain. You're going to ladle the water in to right about here, about an inch below the surface, just covering the potatoes. So that way when you place them in the canner, in the pressure cooker, and you're pressure cooking them up, you have less overflow. Because if you have too much pressure on there, and I'm going to run this because of my altitude around 7 pounds, 8 pounds of PSI, and I'll show you how you do that here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and get these ladled off and get ready to stick them in. And again, ladling is just using this water that has been purified by heat, been going for about 15 minutes. I'm going to use that water in the jars. Then I'm going to show you what to do next. I will be back shortly. Alright, so I ladled them all, and you can see right around the half inch or the inch mark from the top. And burping them is nothing more than doing this. Making sure you get all the air bubbles out. We want to get as much air bubbles out of here as we can. Don't want any air in there. That one's a little high. I'm going to have to drain that one off a little better. And it's just to get any extra excess air out. It just makes the process a little bit quicker. Now that we burped them, we're going to actually wipe the rim with a napkin, because you don't want no oils or grease on them. So I'm going to set you up right here while I do this. Now, I do this stuff because this is better for you. It's more healthy. It's good fresh vegetables. 10 pounds of potatoes. This is 13 meals for me. And it costs me, how much does a bag of potatoes cost? Maybe $5. I get 13 jars, 13 cans, as to what you would pay 60, 70, 80 cents for at the store. And I know what's in this, and they will preserve. I will, at the end of this video, have dinner tonight with one of the large jars that I have that I done 3 or 4 years ago. And again, these are the best potatoes you could ever ask for. Now that I got the tops all wiped off, make sure there's no oil, don't touch them. We're going to go ahead and get the lids going and put them on there. Now what I'm doing is just emptying some of the water back into the pressure cooker from my lids. So that way I have plenty of water. You only need about an inch or so above in the jar, or in the pot. Now that I got my lids out, just set them in place without touching the rubber seal. You don't want to touch the rubber seal because your finger oil can cause them not to seal, and we don't want that. We want them to all seal. So you don't want to touch the lids on the rubber side if you can help it. Might have messed up here. I'll count them after, but I got, like I said, I got both regular and large. Pause.